People that you thought would be there ain't gonna be there. Situations that you thought would bring you comfort will no longer bring you comfort because they'll remind you of your ex, and now you ticked off at something that used to bring you joy because y'all not doing it anymore. Disrupt that pattern. Find a new normal. And here are the 3 C's. Hey now. How is everybody doing? Welcome to Alert Diaries with Tanya E. Today, I shared some insight in a previous episode, and I want to share this information with you. Let's listen. So here's one of the first things to help you get unbound. Remember who you were. For some of us in our relationships, we forgot who we used to be because we're so busy helping everybody else around us. You poured everything that you had inside of your marriage, inside of your children, inside of your job, inside of all the stuff. And unfortunately, like was stated earlier, some of the stress that your jobs and the things of life put on you, you're not taking care of you. I forgot if teal was really my favorite color because I never saw it in my house because it wasn't his favorite color. I forgot how much I love strawberries because he was allergic to it. So I stopped eating my favorite fruit to make certain that he was okay. Do not discount who you are, what you have, and what you do for somebody else. The person that's in your life is supposed to be a complement to what you already have. So what I want you to do, first homework assignment to help you get unbound, is recognize if you can't say no to an emotion, a relationship, or behavior, then you're bound to it and you're not free. You find your freedom in recognizing what it is that you bring to the table. So if you forgot, like I forgot, who you are, what you did, take this week to discover, is the favorite color that you had still your favorite color? Because when I went on this journey, I still like teal. Teal is still one of my favorite colors. But I also like burgundy. I didn't realize how much I like burgundy. And the reason I started liking burgundy as one of my favorite colors, because burgundy is rich. Burgundy has a sense of darkness to it, but not too dark. It has a sense of elegance to it. But I was a tomboy, y'all. So not a whole bunch of frills or thrills or happy-go-lucky pink in my world. But it was just enough to let me touch into pieces of my femininity. Say that 3 times. And enough to let me know that there was something else. I had grown because who you were at the beginning of your relationship is not who you are now. And you need to know who she is. Who are you now? Get to know her and spend some time dating her. You see, when I was growing up, my grandmother raised me. And my grandmother is one of those individuals that likes to make certain that you're exposed to different things. And I'm a native of Washington, D.C. So in D.C., you have like a melting pot of the world. You can go to a section of the city and be immersed in the culture of another environment. So Chinatown was like little Asia. I got the opportunity to experience different things, spoke a little bit of Mandarin, can't remember a lot of it. I enjoyed experiencing a little section of Ethiopia, little moments of Greece, because my grandmother had a friend that lived up off of Connecticut Avenue. And I had pockets of the city that as a child, because things were a lot different then, I'm a village baby. So the neighborhood kind of raised me. And I was one of those children that could roam free, catch the bus wherever. And the bus drivers, they talk to each other. So one bus driver would say, I have her, I'm dropping her off. Can you wait for a few moments because she's got to get off and catch her bus next? So I was protected by the bus drivers, the police officers, the people in the neighborhood fed me. It was a beautiful thing. And so I discovered the fun that I had then. Go back and remember the fun that you had, because there's some part of your life that there was some fun. And if you feel that there wasn't, then now is the time to create it. You have the natural ability to say yes to things that will support you and no to emotions, relationships, or behaviors that are not supporting you, because they are holding you bound, and you can disrupt those patterns by replacing it with something fun, something enjoyable, something great. I shared a little bit last week that if you have something that's inside of your soul that maybe you buried, and somebody decided to go and they found it, and now they have it on display in the living room, but nobody wants to say it's in the living room. Nobody wants to talk about it being in the living room. And as a result, you don't address it, they don't address it, but it's still there. And it has been there with you for a long time. You have to first acknowledge what it is. I was struggling emotionally. I was going through my own drama with the divorce because I wanted the marriage to still be there. I wanted what I knew was dysfunctional because I was familiar with it. The familiarity gave me comfort. The familiarity helped me think that I was okay, but the familiarity was holding me hostage because I was hostage to those past emotions. And I had not yet figured out how to get out of it, but my baby still needed what they needed. So I gave myself 2 minutes to feel the pain, to feel the drama, to feel the chaos, and be 2 minutes a day. And I decided that's it. I'm not going to give no more of my extra energy to a man that's not here, to a life that I don't have, to moments that don't exist. But I gave myself those 2 minutes. And then I sat on the edge of the bed, gave myself another 5 minutes sitting on the edge of the bed. It became a habit because what I ended up doing was changing my mindset. You have to interrupt the pattern and clean out what was there. Whatever is holding you hostage in your past, you've got to clean it out. And you do that with one of the tools that I created. I call it the 3 C's. I call it the 3 C's because there are 3 C's that I use in touch points of my life where I need some help. Because sometimes you need to find a way of disrupting yourself when you're by yourself. Because you're not going to always have a group of people you can talk to. You're not going to always have somebody that truly understands your journey because lots of times friends and family dispersed. I don't know all the ways of why that happens, but people that you thought would be there ain't going to be there. Situations that you thought would bring you comfort will no longer bring you comfort because they'll remind you of your ex. And now you ticked off at something that used to bring you joy because y'all not doing it anymore. Disrupt that pattern. Find a new normal. The first C. Use this as a tool. Get clear about what it is. Got to face your heartache. And most of the times our heartache from our divorce is something that happened in our past. And he played on my emotions and gave me emotional warfare beyond belief because that gaslighting, oh, we're doing fine. I'm just staying late for work to do this and the other. Oh, you're just imagining things. That's not what's really happening. All of that bullshit. I'm going to try to keep my colorful adjectives to myself, but if they slip out, they just slip out. I'm going to let y'all know now, okay? Because I know this don't seem right, but because you said it was right, I'm going to let that play out. There's only so much lying you can do to yourself about your situation. So then I had to do the next C. Once I got clear about what I was dealing with. I'm not just dealing with the ex and his stuff. I'm not just dealing with the stuff that was happening in this moment. It was some past things I never addressed. Now I need to decide, am I going to close it off? Because some things in your life you need to close off. Close off the hurt, close off the pain, close off those past issues. And you do that by dealing with them. So I had to face Tanya and decide to tell Tanya that she was beautiful. And y'all, I spent 3 years crying in the mirror, just telling me that I was beautiful. But when I finished, I love Tanya so much, you can't tell me anything about my color, my face, my skin, my eyes, my nose, no nothing. Because why? I stood there and said, I love your eyes. I love your nose. I love your mouth. I love your skin. I love your smile. Every piece of me that somebody tried to make me feel less than, I validated because this is always going to be with me. I'm going to always be with me. And if I know that my natural, logical, analytical mind, X tried to make me think I was crazy because I wanted to stop, let's analyze the situation. Well, I'm wired to analyze. I'm an electrical engineer by discipline, project manager by trade. That is how I process things. I analyze, I structure, I strategize, I plan, and there is nothing wrong with that. He just had a different focus area. So somebody's got a different focus area. Well, let me get to the third C. The role that you once played, whether it was a spouse, a professional, or full-time parent, that shaped your identity. But now everything's changed. And with that change comes uncertainty. What if this is your opportunity to redefine you, rediscover a newer version of yourself that's built for this moment in time? This is your chance to create that reset moment, the identity that aligns with who you really are and not just who the world expects you to be. Third C is connect. Once you are clear about what's happening, next you have to decide what you're going to close off, because some things you don't need to keep revisiting. And if you find that it's tapping into a piece of your soul that is causing you angst, clear it up. And like my grandmother would have me clean up. If you had a carpet and you cleaned the carpet and you had a couch that nobody ever really moved, that couch stayed in that one spot. When you move the couch away, you see that underneath the couch, the carpet looks a lot cleaner. Now, granted, there's still dirt underneath that couch, but it's cleaner than the rest of the carpet. When you remove something, cleaning it up, put something in its place. It'll stay cleaner a little bit longer. See, I had to clean out the hurt that people gave me about who I was. And I replaced it with the confidence of knowing who I am. So when anybody shows up in my life, I'm clear about me. And when my new relationship, my current husband, showed up, Eric did validate me, but I didn't need Eric's validation to know that I was cool. I didn't need Eric's validation to know that I'm amazing. I don't need Eric's validation. But when I hear him tell me I'm beautiful, it's just a reminder, oh yeah, I know that, thank you. Because I know it. I know it from the top of my head to the soles of my feet, because I decided to connect to that part of me and I closed off some other pieces. So that's the 3 C's. Use that tool. In the moment when you have to make a decision, use that tool. Because it took me 3 years, y'all, to get clear with me, but it didn't stick as well as I like. But eventually I discovered, just like if you have something like dirty clothes, you can throw it in the wash. It doesn't mean you didn't clean it. It's just that there's some stains that's a little harder than others that got to rub out. So you got to work on them a little bit longer. So if you use something and it doesn't work the first time, it's okay. You washed. You just need to come out and just need to work on it just a little bit longer and be patient with yourself in that journey. And if anything that I shared resonates with you today, then like, comment, and share this with others. So a lot of you are familiar with my next level notes. For those of you that are not, a next level note are the lessons that have fueled my life, that have helped me get to the next level. And they are grounded in how I believe. Then I often say, you let Jesus join you on the journey. It is fun on this side, because it's on this side that I found love. It is on this side that I found strength. It is on this side that I got clear about who I am at the core of my being and how amazing I am. I was raised to believe that I was designed in the image of the creator of the universe. And if God saw fit to design me in his image, who am I to let anybody tell me different? So when I was going through that healing process of discovering Tanya, when I was going through that healing process of being whole and a lot better, I read in the Bible that God said, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. If God made me wonderful, why would I believe somebody that tells me anything different? Why would I let some past hurt, some past pains? Because there's something that may be in your past that will tell you some craziness about yourself. But if the creator of the universe says you are amazing, and here's another thing I learned. When you read in Ephesians chapter 1, God says you're a masterpiece. You know what a masterpiece is? A masterpiece is something that somebody finds valuable. A masterpiece is something that is put on display. God put you in the earth to be on display, because inside of you is someone's answered prayer. You were born with a solution in your soul. You were born because this generation needs you. You were born for such a time as this. The experiences that you walk through, the things that you have, all the characteristics of your being, you were made the way you were made because there's something special in you that the world needs now. There is something, because I stated earlier, because you're designed in the image of God, he put inside of you a solution to the world. And because you have a solution to the world, there's something in you that you are able to create. In Genesis chapter 1, God gave us strategy for success. The world uses it, but nobody talks about it. You are a creator because God created. So what is it that you create? And don't say you don't know how to create, because I know each and every one of you, if you got kids, if you live life, you've done some stuff, you created something. You created a particular hairstyle. You may have created some food. You may have created clothes, something. You are creative. Find out what that is. And if you got to go back and remember what it used to be in the past, do that. I had to learn at that point that one of the things I'm really good at is strategy. So I found a way, because people kept asking me to help them with things, either help them to build stuff, put together a few things, or come up with a strategy plan for something, like if they're planning things. Whatever you do, you produce that, and then you find a way to multiply it. If you are an individual that can help one person, if you get a way of putting it together, make it easy, you can help multiple people. Find out what that is, but multiply what you do well. Because once you multiply it, then you can distribute it. And once you distribute it, then you can dominate that area. That is all of what Genesis 1:28, when God put man in the earth, he said, I want you to cultivate it. I want you to protect it. I want you to multiply, and I want you to magnify who I am in the earth. So it doesn't say that exactly. That's Tanya's version. Make certain that you read your Bible so you can get your own stuff in there, because I will do a summary in a heartbeat. But something that you already have that you can do well, start finding a way to make it work for you. And if you want someone to join you on the journey, feel free to go to my website, TanyaEhood.com. There you can click on the Work With Me tab and see the various ways that we can work with one another. In the meantime, this is Tanya E. Hood, walking in my purpose, and I want you to do the same.